that have made their way through the round of 32 and have gone into the round of 16. And as you say, one more will join them, the winner of this next map that we have about to start. It will be, of course, Empire Cast, the destroyer of worlds, going up against SKMC, the boss toss himself. And I think one big question about this entire series we're about to see, Cass has used the same strategy and build twice in a row against Stardust, of course playing the same matchup. He went for pressure off 5 barracks after a command center first. He then threw down a third base, double starport, and went for a 1-1 timing with his engineering base, with 1-1 upgrades, for an SCV pull, and pretty much won both games very easily. Now, coming into this next series, we are playing on Akelon Waste again. How does MC deal with this? Does Cass use the same style, first of all? How does MC deal with it? You know, is he consistently building Colossus? Is he trying to go over to Templar Archives faster? Does he try to end the game earlier on if it's a command center first? This is how I think this matchup should shape up around these things I just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what MC is going to bring to the table to deal with that if Cass does go for the same build. Our first map will be Akelon Wastes, so there is certainly a good opportunity for Cass to do the same thing, same map as the first one against Stardust. A lot of it will revolve around that third base, you know, where is he going to take it, at what time he's going to take it. To play against Cass here, who has shown such strength in the last series.
Yeah, such strength in the last series, but very little over the last couple of seasons. Falling short in Season 1. In the round of 32, came into Season 2 in Challenger League. And, you know, did come out of Challenger League through Season 2 again to land himself back into Season 3 Premier League, which is where we are now. But he's never been to the round of 16. He's never had the chance to play live in the WCS studios. And of course, now we're talking about the WCS studios, you can actually attend next week. Yes. From Tuesday onwards, you can come to the live studios, you buy a ticket, come, meet the players, watch awesome games. You're going to have a group per day. So Tuesday would be Group A, and it'll go all the way to the end of the week with A, B, C, and D for all the different groups. And that's how to find the tickets. So just go to wcseurope.eventbrite.com. Go there, print screen that page, maybe listen to what I said, record it, then put it back in and then search for it again. But anyway, go to there, get the tickets, come check out some awesome games next week.
All right, and that brings us neatly onto the third series of the night. Is going to be who advances on to the round of 16 first in this group, as we have spawning up to the left-hand corner our blue Protoss, representing SK Gaming, as well as Korea. He is SKMC. Kaboom. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Terran, representing Empire, and obviously the Ukraine, he is Empire Cass. Badumch.
That's right.
That's right.
That's the two players that we have in front of us.
They are. Those are the guys. And Cass looks good. Can he look even better going up against a man such as the Boss Toss?
Well, this guy, the Boss Toss, can really read into his opponents well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't say, all right, I'm going to try and get more Colossus, so I'm going to try and get Templar Archives and Storm Map faster. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for something like an Immortal Bust. MC's aggressive, he's got style, he's got flair. He doesn't need to try to figure out how to stop something. You don't say, all right, at the 15-minute mark, when Cass comes with this, how do you best deal with it? MC's a player that says, I'll end it at 10. I mean, that's obviously a wild guess, but MC's a character and a player that could do this in one of the 3 potential games that we see, is just look to end it nice and early on. He's seen the command center first, or at least will do in a second. Sees the barracks been put down, so now knows this is command center first. Yeah. And he has taken 2 guesses really early on. So does he now go ahead and say, you know what? When you go command center first, you're really slow on your unit production. Can I get away with a Stargate in this game? Can I get away with going for an Oracle?
I think he has options, and those aggressive options could come to the mind of MC here. I would like to see them as well. You know, it's good to change up what you're going to do. Maybe Cass anticipates a little bit of macro from his opponent, but MC is the guy that, once again, he's the MVP of the Protoss, and you know, they're very close friends, so it's quite apt. He has all the builds in his little build book, so he can bring anything.
Well, so far, we have the Gateway being chrono boosted. We have a Zealot being made, and the Nexus being chrono boosted as well. Cass is building a bunker, so this is not going to be as effective as MC hopes. And that's actually, to be honest, a waste of chrono boost. MC now sees the bunker be made, and he's going to harass the SCV, because if he can get the bunker slowed down and can actually get in with his Zealot before the bunker's complete, this works out for him.
A lot of SCVs congregating from the SCV party to just push away the little pesky probe, and that does occur. MC moving across with that mothership core, but hasn't really taken too many decisions just yet.
I wonder if he tries to run past the bunker.
You think?
With his double stalkers.
He certainly could do.
I mean, he's spent so much chrono boost into the gateway that it's a bit of a waste to have all these units out if he just sits outside.
Got to do something, right?
So maybe what he could do is meet the mothership core inside the main base, use the Zealot to tank for the 2 Stalkers to run by. He will clearly expand behind this, but I wonder if he'll try to make use of the units that he already has.
Well, yeah. Other than that, if he can run by, they're just going to be useless. They're just going to be sat out, really doing nothing. Admittedly, they can deny a little bit of scouting from his opponent, but once again, for Cass, it's going to be that slightly delayed Reaper. So he does favor it a bit more on this map, it looks like, and it can get past these units, whereas Marines couldn't.
Ooh, imagine if MC could pull the mothership core to the mineral line and get all the units out the bunker to go deal with the mothership core and then run past it, maybe even save the Zealot's life.
That would be cool. And he forces away those SCVs from this mineral line. He's going to pull the Marines towards that. And there's only 1 Marine here, so this is what he's going to try and do. This is a very, very good read, Apollo. And that's annoying, because now those Marines, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place is a time warp, apparently, as those Marines completely dissolve under the firepower of these Stalkers and Zealot.
And the mothership core lives. No, it doesn't. No. It almost lived. It was just 1 hit away. But now he's got 2 Stalkers with shields, pretty much, that can do quite a bit of damage to the mineral line. And he's already slowing down Cass. He's already got a couple of SCV kills. Quite a few, actually. 7 already.
That's really nice.
And now the use of the chrono boost earlier on into the gateway makes perfect sense. He's actually put 3 gateways down.
Whoa.
And, you know, this is the kind of flair that I thought we may see from MC. Just saying, you know what, Stardust? You know what? You know how to deal with that 15-minute attack that Cass goes for? You'd kill him early. But this Reaper...
Hello. And
wow, that's a good scout.
That panache has been seen. So Cass can prepare. Loses the Reaper in the end, but it's done its job. It certainly has done its job, as Cass can now start extra bunkers if he would like to try and just deny his opponent from busting him.
There's a bit of a mind game going on now, because Cass is like, is he going to go for it or not? Because in this position, I wouldn't be surprised for MC just to throw down a 3rd base. Being like, all right, this guy's expecting me to come with 4 gateways. Let me just throw down a 3rd base instead, because that's not what he's expecting. You know, there's the mind games coming in, because does Cass now say, yeah, he's probably not going to do it because it's been spotted, then MC does it anyway. So at this point in the game, with all the 4 sentries out, it looks like he is going to do it anyway. He's saying, you know what, I'll tickle the front of this bunker, I'll keep the pressure onto Cass, and he's not going completely all in, because he's chrono boosting only into the Nexus and building a forge behind it. But he definitely put a bit of pressure on.
Yeah,
3 more sentries.
Whoa, that's a lot of sentries, actually.
4 more sentries.
So he's going to be up to 7 or 8? 8 sentries in total here. That's a lot of sentries. But they have to be warped in at the other side of the map, so they're going to take a while to actually walk over here.
So a lot of force fields, though, he's going to have.
Yeah. SCVs have already positioned themselves nicely to greet this onslaught.
Yeah, remember, there's no real tech coming in yet from MC. Does not have a Robo or Twilight Council. And there's Stim done, and the starport is finished, and the medevac's going to be on the way. So MC's got quite a strong army, but can he break this?
I know, it's going to be tough. He needs those Zealots in the right positions. He doesn't have that much firepower in the form of Stalkers behind that, though. He walks up and sees, nuh-uh, not for now. He'll have to try and find another way to get ahead.
So now the Twilight Council's coming in. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for Blink for just the most cost-efficient way to deal with medevacs. But he goes into the main base with the Hallucinate Phoenix and says, wow, okay, he's got a starport already on the way. He's got medevacs about to come out. I couldn't break him. I wasted a lot of units, a lot of money on these units, and haven't been able to break him. And to be honest, I do favor Cass's position. Despite losing 7 SCVs earlier on, he now has Stim. He has possible attack on the way, combat shields as well, and plus 2 medevacs. This is pretty cool. And there's only a bunch of, you know, sentries and a couple of zealots.
Yeah, it's not really well equipped to actually deal with this kind of harassment if Cass wants to go over the other side of the map. Slightly supply blocked there for a second, but other than that, he has the opportunity now to try and pressure his opponent now. He's just going to set his third command center down. And MC, where does he go from here, Apollo?
Well, he's already chosen to go double forge. We may even see Immortals come out initially. It is a little bit risky to try to go all the way up to with no Colossus. I mean, without any extra add-on protection before the Colossus. So maybe after the Observer, just to make him feel a little bit more safe. I guess he has a lot of force field, so he can cut this army up, but he really doesn't have too much damage dealing there. The Zealots are great, but the Medivacs are going to pick the units up if they got caught on the other side of force fields.
Yeah, just get them right on out there. He sends one Medivac forwards to see what his opponent has in return. Sees a lot of sentries, doesn't want to get his army too divided up just yet, but now this means he can actually try and lift up. Did he just see all that? He saw all of it.
Yeah, and now with 4 Medivacs, they can actually drop right in the main base, but he already sees it coming, so the 1 Medivac at the front is even almost dead.
Ooh, he's going to try and boost in, but he has to be paying super close attention to that. 2 Marines sacrifice themselves for the greater good, and he will stim on out there.
Well, Cass has thrown down his 2nd Engineering Bay, and looks like he's just going to play the game out longer. He's not going to go for his SCV pull thing. He's just going to play out a normal game. Cass doesn't necessarily need to limit himself to just using one style. He can definitely just branch away and play his normal game here against MC, who is low on splash damage. He's still only on gateway units, so just not starting a Thermal Lance.
The first Colossus coming out as well, so he absolutely needs those if he's going to try and shut his opponent down in terms of just this standard aggression coming out here from Cass. Dropping a Marine on the 3rd base, making sure he can keep an eye if that is going to be taken as his 3rd. And, well, even drops the scan to see exactly what his opponent has in store for him.
Yeah, and with Cass getting quite an early 2nd Engineer, not very early, but decent enough timed here, he's not going to be too far behind in upgrades. MC will take a 3rd base now, just a lot slower, a lot more cautious. And this game is going to go on. There's no all-in coming from either player, and we will see the game go on to a later stage.
Just barely doesn't see those Medivacs as they boost straight on past that probe. Yeah, and just drops one Marine just to keep an eye on his opponent's 3rd there as well. But realizing now that that army is there with the rocks broken down, probably going to be the 3rd in that location.
So Cass has thrown down additional bunkers here. He still hasn't seen the 3rd base at all. So he's a little bit worried. He actually lent a scan. Where was the scan?
It was over between the main and natural. Yeah,
now he sees Colossus. He's actually started a lot of Ghost production earlier on because he thought his opponent was going to play a Templar Archive style here. And he didn't see the 3rd base come down, so he's actually a little bit worried, which is about putting a bit of bunkers in there. And he's going to have to wait till his Colossus come out. So there is a bit of a timing here for MC to maybe do something with just the... Well, he's got 2 Colossus, maybe, but I still think Cash is fine here, especially with the bunkers now being put in.
Cass's army was a really nice supply for quite a long time during all of this. Very, very even, I would say. And Cass can just prepare himself a nice concave here as well to deal with his opponent. Even drops an EMP there, but I don't think that was just too necessary yet.
Yeah, he's definitely a little bit scared about this movement out because obviously MC's hidden the Colossus away from him, or should we say Cass never saw the Colossus, so he's obviously very frightened of a 2-base Colossus attack, which is very, very late and just hidden. But in reality, that's not what's going on here. Turret being added look at that, a turret even added onto the front of the bunkers. He's that scared of Colossus just walking up and killing him. But as we can see, the 3rd base is down by MC, but Cass has a much superior economy. 73 SCVs and mules versus just 53 probes. Very, very low here for MC.
Yeah, very low, and that's showing very much so in the numbers here. There's 2,200 minerals coming in, along with this sensor tower as well for Cass. He is locked down tight in terms of getting a lot of economy going, got his defenses set up. This game is gonna go on for a little bit longer.
But how long? Because the Templar Archives is not down yet, and that Viking count is starting to climb quite quickly. There's about to be 8 when these next 3 finish. But I guess the upgrades are very nice for MC. He's got almost +3 attack done and +3 armor on the way as well. It's the advantage of getting the 2nd Forge down so early. But I still feel here that Cass does have a very strong army. The amount of ghosts he's got and the Viking count going up to 8 against just 3 Colossus, a lot of MPs. Depending on how the fight goes for Cass here, he could, depending if MC makes a mistake with his army control, could go well for him.
It certainly could. And he actually just sees a few SCVs coming with this advancement from that observer. He moved the observer, so he definitely saw what was going on at the front of his bases. Now he has to spread himself between these two locations. Thankfully, though, for him, he's at 193 supply against 200. So this engagement, unless he gets some really nice EMPs across that army and blankets them, I don't think he can break him just yet.
Yeah, 8 Vikings isn't that much, but it depends on how everything else evaporates at the front. Plus, their attack is now done.
There's a lot of force fields in there that can deny the advancement for a while. Doesn't actually land any just yet. The wall cuts the army up really, really well. Needs to bring the Zealots back, though. A lot of damage is being done from behind these force fields. Actually catches a lot of that in a second wave of force fields as well. Oh, and that lines everything up. Those Colossi are doing a massive amount of damage.
And the Vikings have done nothing. 2 Colossus out of the 4 remain. Cass gets absolutely obliterated there.
Oh, dear me. That was a really impressive set of force fields from MC on both of those fronts.
2,000 minerals. That's a lot of minerals.
That is a lot of minerals, you're right. How many barracks does he actually have? He has 8 barracks. So just trying to churn those units out, trying to claim his 4th base. But I don't think MC even gives him the room to get a 4th base. If he just sends a few Zealots over there...
He's building a pile on it. See, MC's coming for the win. He realizes how much damage he just dealt out and how bad that attack went for Cass. And with 3 Colossus here, no Viking or 2 Vikings, MC's actually coming to look to see if he can win the game here. And to be honest, it could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it really could, especially now moving this 3rd away, knowing that he's crippled a little bit of his opponent's economy, and he has to feel confident about having all of those Colossi still in retention. Having a few Archons along with in the fray as well. This army is looking stronger and stronger by the minute.
Yeah, that fight was not that good from Cass. 8 Vikings alone, fighting up to a ramp, great force fields and great acceptance from MC. Just accepted that attack really, really well. And now we're in a bit of a pickle, or at least Cass is.
I actually want to go back into the replay and just go to the units lost tab during that engagement, because again, having those units pinned up between all those force fields, nice lovely force field sandwich, he lost a lot very quickly to those Colossi.
Without Storm too, just Archons, good Stalker snipes onto the Vikings, and Colossus not being touched at the back.
The force fields were the absolute heroes of the day. And SKMC now setting himself up that 4th base. Admittedly, Cass does have his 4th base, getting up to speed as well. So his income's not waning too badly. But those Zealots are certainly going to head over there straight.
Cass is bringing SCVs to try to win the game now.
Ooh.
Not too many, like 10 SCVs or something, 10, 12 SCVs. I don't even think this phases MC, to be honest.
He's going to go for the engagement again. That's a lot of Vikings, so he's going to bring down the Mothership Core. And actually, that's a lot of damage that this bio is going to be able to do. But at the same time, the Archon's moving in from the side, getting a lot of splash damage done to those Vikings. But this is a bit closer than I was expecting.
MC walk, he just walked with his Colossus. He wasn't attack moving, they were just walking, so it was a little bit scary. But with the amount of gateways that he has and just the economy, we can just see MC push forward. Now Cass has nothing, like 98 supply.
Yeah, that giant round of Zealot Warp in there was really the saving grace of MC. I mean, he would have won the fight outright, but now this allows him to actually go for the counter. Nice Storm hits a lot of that reinforcing bio that was trying to save this 4th base, but even with repairs, that is going to die as another Storm lands on the remaining bio.
Yeah, well, I mean, MC just outclassing Cass a little bit, despite Cass looking great against Stardust. Not quite the same here against the boss toss.
Not quite the same. GG and MC will take the map.
He did. Congratulations. And he picks up map number 1.
He does. He does. So Acheron Wastes not opening up too well for Mr. Cass. And does Cass now revert back to his particular timings that he was using if he feels that would work out? I guess it depends on what MC's going to do, right?
It depends on the map. I think he may try to do what he says, but to be honest, I think in this game, Cass may have wanted to try to go for that style. But with the way that MC... there
you go.
Well, just adjusting my
chair.
There we go. The way that MC played it, so hands-on approach. It's always been MC that... killing 7 SCVs earlier on, just really switch things up a little bit there for Cass. So I don't know if he uses, like he did against Stardust.
Well, the next map's going to be Frost between these two guys. And if we need it, I believe the next map will be Whirlwind after that. So Frost, is that a map that you can, as a Terran, try and go for that kind of play?
Technically, yeah. It's big, but not that big. Could see it from Cass. Could see it. I mean, I don't know if he's going to try and do it or not.
All right, well, we'll get into this second game in just a little bit. But before that, guys, we should definitely remind you about being able to win free stuff, because that's pretty good. So you can win this Cone Pure Optical Mouse here during this. And all you have to do is go over to Twitter, #Rockat, as well as #WCS, and tell us your second place finisher in this group. So not the winner of this series, but the winner of the final series of the night. And then you can win this lovely mouse.
That's right. So now we continue on with this next game. So MC now is just one game away from breaking into the round of 16, breaking closer and closer into the round of, or to the top 16, sorry. So not only into the round of 16 here in the World Championship Series Europe, but also potentially the top 16 in BlizzCon, for BlizzCon. The more points he gets, the better he performs throughout the season. The closer he gets to guaranteeing a slot. If he gets to season finals, then that's a lot of points.
Yeah, this is the one last opportunity for these players to accrue some really, really big points towards that effort. And MC is one of those guys teetering on the edge, currently 17th place, just one spot away. I think he's, what, like 50 points outside of it? So just needs that little bit of oomph to guarantee himself a spot at BlizzCon. And if MC passes the round of 32, as we saw in Season 2, there's no stopping the man.
No stopping the man, indeed. But can he get through Cass first? One game, and he's there. He will be our 15th player to make it to the round of 16 here, which will be played out on Tuesday next week. And of course, just before we get into this, there will be the round of 16 draw this night. After we finish with all the games, we'll find out who plays who.
And all the players are going to be eagerly watching that, as they absolutely want to start prepping for their opponents. It's very soon, in fact, is the round of 16 next week, as you rightly pointed out. So guys, now it's all on this map here for Mr. Cass, but his opponent, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, the blue Protoss representing SK and Korea, he is MC. And down to the bottom right, we have the Destroyer of Worlds himself, representing Ukraine as well as Team Empire. He is Cass.
All right, can Cass do this, make the comeback? I hope he doesn't get too moved by how well MC played in that game. But being cross positions here, I mean, we've seen it before by other Terran players, the SCV pull, but it's going to be a lot harder to accomplish this. To be able to travel all the way across the map here at a good time is obviously a lot more difficult than Akalon Waste or Belshir Vestige.
Yeah, very, very big map. I think Whirlwind is still bigger, or is it exactly the same? Did we work out that it was exactly the same surface area-wise?
It's the same surface area. It's just a little bit, like, I think it's taller.
Yeah, yeah. So there's certainly a very big map, and that always makes for some odds and errors. And we also have to remember that this is a map that is not cross-positions enforced. So there is a slight difference if they were to spawn near each other, in inverted commas. But cross-positions is something that can play or lean more towards that bigger macro game.
Well, MC's taken double gases very early on. On a big map like this, and the way that Cass is playing, you could actually just go Nexus first. So I'm interested with how he's going to play this out. Does he try to tech up off one base? He's mining a lot of gas already.
He had 2 in, and he's throwing the third one. Is this indicative of anything in particular?
I think he may try to proxy something this game.
So are we going
when
to
he goes
Stargate?
into scouts, I don't think he's going to chrono boost as much into his gateway anymore. It's harder for this map to work out with the zealots and stalkers to run by. So upon seeing command center first here, he'll poke in, act normal. But I really feel that he may just go away, hide somewhere, which is on this map difficult to scout because it is so unpredictable, but I think he may throw down some tech.
Where are you going to go, Probe? Right now he's heading over the other side of the map, back home.
Maybe not. He's throwing down a third pylon.
It's in the main, so that certainly does give him a little bit more of a...
Look at the probe.
Oh, he's off. He's running away. He saw the SCV coming, right?
Yeah.
So...
But the SCV doesn't see him.
No.
So he's going up to the high ground here, and I really feel tech. Come on, MC. Yeah.
Oh.
It's gonna be a start. Come on, put the pylon.
He was clicking avidly. Is it going to happen? Well, there was a probe going down to the natural as well.
So much gas in the bank. 320 gas now.
That's a
no
lot of
pylon
gas.
down. He's going to put the Nexus first.
No sentry started.
So much Chrono Boost available as well.
There's the Nexus.
And now, does he throw down a pylon now with the next 100? He has to. Yeah.
There it is.
So, like a Stargate right after expanding here. He may even let the SCV scout the Nexus.
Yeah, be a sneaky snake.
Yeah, just like let the Stalker kill it, but also let the Nexus be spotted here. Because then Cass is like, oh, okay, he's on the Nexus. It's not late. It's normal time. I really think the SCV should be allowed to spot this. Watch. Look, he's like, well, whatever.
Yeah, not really intensely microing the Stalker or anything, just saying, yeah, you can see that.
And now
then
the Stargate.
Kaboom, kaboom. It is going to be the Stargate choice. So, Cass had his Marines. Actually, they were heading back to the main. And
No, he does that every time, though.
Yeah.
But this time he did scout with an SCV compared to normal. He doesn't like to scout. Because he's playing against MC. It's, I guess, a lot different to Stardust, because MC is known for this.
What happens? Is it too late if the Reaper gets over, sees gases, like clicks on them, checks how much gas, and realizes that there's not that much there in terms of gas expenditure?
Well, it's very difficult to read upon that so fast. If you've played 1,000 times against this style, yes, you know. But how can he tell the difference when there's already 350 gas around his base?
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 sentries of Mothership
yeah,
Core.
the 2 sentries.
It's going to be hard to tell. You can, technically, scientifically, yes, you can tell.
But
I don't. A 3rd sentry as well, it's very difficult
thorough
to read in. He doesn't know if there's a Stalker in the middle of the map. He doesn't really know exactly, right? So Cass goes in, sees the double gases, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't even clicked on them.
No, he hasn't. Not at all. He's just gone straight for the probes, and he's just going to continue to dance around. And, you know, seeing that many sentries... Oh, and catching that Reaper as well. Seeing that many sentries, you're right. It's too hard to read into a second Oracle coming out.
The second Oracle here is because the first one... Look at Cass's Marines. I think what MC's hoping for here, that the Marines move away from the main base as the second Oracle goes in hand. Because Cass knows his timings well when it comes to having his Marines in his main base, but obviously he's going to pull them down soon in case there's a gateway attack. So what MC's saying is if I go for 1 Oracle and I get in, the Marines may still be there. If I go for 2, they may leave to go defend the natural. And even if they're still there, 6 Marines aren't going to cut it against 2 Oracles.
So he's going to go in with this, and actually he's just going to follow it with a huge gateway attack. And this is something we saw him doing at the very beginning of Heart of the Swarm, did MC.
Well, look, 2 Oracles will clean up all these really fast.
Bye-bye, Marines. I'll see you in another life. And that leaves this completely open. He had a missile turret at the front to deny, you know, Dark Templars or something like that, but that was not the case. So now... This is going to be because he weakens his opponent's defense just in general by killing all of those Marines and then follows it up with a big gateway attack. It's brutal to deal with.
And there's already 3 Oracles and a 4th one on the way too.
Oh, geez.
So anything outside the bunker in terms of Marines will die fast, very fast. They don't have combat shields. And MC is... I love MC's approach to this. He saw how Cass played. He's like, yeah, I like, you know, that timing that Innovation does that you're copying? Yeah, it's pretty good, right? I know you're liking it because you beat Stardust with it 2-0. And now he's like, you know what happens if I kill you first? Before you even get close.
Yeah.
2 Oracles dead, by the way, but he also just picked up another 12 Marines or something. And now there's literally 7 Marines and a Marauder left.
Oh, dear me.
There's like nothing here.
Force fields are readily available as well as he wraps around that bunker so nicely. The Oracles come into the fray as well to actually join the engagement. One of them will end up falling, as will the second one as well. And these Zealots, well, they're kind of in a bit of an odd spot there. Being choked up a little. He can't break in just yet, but...
Time Warp still available too. He's going to come smash down this next bunker. MC is looking to win this game, but can Cass hold on? Stim is done, Combat Shields is done, and +1 attack is done. Medivacs are on the way as well, and MC, look at this, just retreating here. He's got the Twilight Council coming down, and he doesn't think he can do it.
It's funny because whenever you see MC actually do that in the past, he had the Oracles with the army straight in the engagements. Now, you said he killed off quite a lot of Marines with those 3 Oracles at the back, but even that apparently wasn't enough to bust this. That's a crazy, crazy little hold there by Cass.
Yeah, and with 4 Medivacs now...
Did the force fields kind of work against MC there as well? At the very end of the engagement, the Zealots were all kind of choked up a little bit in their own little position. He got some workers, admittedly, but aside from that,
yeah,
not much.
Well, here comes Cass across the other side of the map. MC has Blink on the way in the Robotics Filter 2. Not the best setup. But he didn't have the best setup either in game number 1. And he was able to work around things, so I'm expecting him to do the same here.
And third base is going to go down here for Cass, whilst he goes for what looks like a big drop over the left-hand side of this map. So MC could get caught off guard by this, but I think that, you know, if he just reacts in time, just gets those Zealots and Sentries over there, they're in place enough to try and deny this. He has foot and overcharge as well, right? Yeah, so can push this away. Takes a little bit of damage. 3 workers already gone down. He's just going to try and focus down that Nexus for a second and runs on away. The Widowmine's going to stay for the ride, but not many workers dead.
Nope, not many workers dead. Okay, the Observer's there, picks that off.
Bye-bye Widowmine. And, well, with that, RoboBay is on the way as well behind this for MC. And the thing is that he has no forges. During all of this, he's had no forges. So there's no upgrade focus. There's no long game mentality, I don't think, here for MC. And if there is, it's going to be a lot harder for him because his opponent's just going to have upgrades.
Well, Blink is almost done. And if these Medivacs come close to this main base, they will pounce. And they will do a good job, too.
Yeah. Mopping in a few more. Oop, has to be careful. As one Marine's going to sit on that 3rd base location, and he is going to load this up. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, Colossus about to pop out as well.
All right, how quickly is he going to see this? He sees the Stalkers in place. He blinks straight on and catches one Medivac. It didn't have anything in it, though. So Cass loses not as much as he could have.
Yeah, actually looking at the main base of MC in the mineral line, it's actually got one probe following another to the top right mineral field.
Oh, yeah. It's like when you see Overlords actually just rally to one drone and it's just like bouncing back and forth between them. Like, is this what my life has become?
MC, though, when it comes to his upgrades, no forges, and he's only got 1 Colossus and now a 2nd. This is kind of weird from him.
That one did have something in it, so that does go down.
Well, he's killing units off, but there's already 4 Vikings. And MC, is he just going to... It looks like he's just going to attack here.
I mean, he has to, right? Without any forges or anything? 2-2's on the way?
I mean, you said it earlier. He can do. Yeah. That means he really has to focus so much on bringing down the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been warping in mostly Stalkers. Initially, it was to, you know, kill off those Medivacs, but now it's going to have that secondary purpose of killing off those Vikings. So a very, very important engagement about to come up here as Cass. He's going to have the supply lead in terms of army very soon.
The Militia Corps left at home will defend against this drop for now, but how many Vikings are there? 6. Stalkers with Blink. We all know that MC can Blink really, really well.
And picks up and goes straight into the main here with this drop.
Time warped. He should have just double... Well, that Colossus, that's kind of a...
And he might end up dying. This is going to be really close. But at the same time, on the other side of the map, a big, big engagement. Great force fields wrap around that entire army. At the same time, all the SCVs come off the line. Casnos is in a lot of trouble. Wow, he actually kept the Colossus alive.
All the Vikings are gone. All the Vikings are gone.
Oh, this went so well for MC. The Marauders do move forwards to pick off that one Colossus, but there's nothing left on the ground once again. And I say it for the 2nd time today, the Stalkers on the ground reign supreme for MC.
Wow, you just blink forward, pick off that. Wow.
GG.
MC. Whew. When you don't think it's possible, MC does it.
He does. That was his one opportunity, right? That was his one opportunity to kill him outright. Because if 2-2 had finished for that bio against the army when he had no upgrades, then... Bleh.
Yeah. Very crisp game from MC. Actually, looking at the performance at the end, he was only supply capped for 15 seconds there.
Wow.
16 seconds at the end throughout all of that game. Good game from MC. Great execution towards the end. I have to feel, though, that maybe if Cass saw that coming a little bit earlier properly and was, you know, his Vikings lost. They lost their lives so easily. And then 2 Colossus left. I think he had only 2 with it anyway. Or maybe 3, but... Yeah, MC just... I didn't think that would be possible from MC, but he makes it work. He makes it work, and he advances on to the round of 16, and he accrues himself a little bit more of those lovely WCS points. And now I think that moves him into the top 16, at the moment at least. But obviously he's MC. He doesn't only want to be in the top 16 just by the skin of his teeth. He wants to move on past the round of 16, past the round of 8, up to that grand final where he was last season. That's right. So congratulations to SKMC, our first player of today, making it into the round of 16, which, again, I repeat, will be played live from Tuesday till Friday next week. And again, we'll be having the group drawing later. We'll find out exactly who plays who in the 4 groups next week.
Yeah. All right, guys. So join us after the break, where we shall continue the festivities here at the WCS Europe.
Precision with a true 8200 DPI Pro Aim laser sensor. Get pure speed with a 32-bit Turbo Core V2 processor. Get pure command power with the Easy Shift button duplicator. Get pure atmosphere with a 16.8 million